Ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Tuesday, January the 3rd, 2023. Hope you're all doing well. Chris Phillips here, the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show. Appreciate you all tuning in. I see Stephen Morrill Jr., Travi, Gad, Kenneth, Alex Mitchum, Todd Smith, Jonathan Lee. What's going on? Appreciate you all. Also, those in the Big Cock Club Discord, have the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, be sure your questions are answered there. Again, guys, it's game day. South Carolina men's basketball taking on the Vanderbilt Commodores as SEC play begins for Lamont Paris in his first season. His first go-around, an 18-game slate in the SEC. Looking forward to that. 7 o'clock tip-off tonight. That's at Memorial Gymnasium in Nashville, Tennessee. We'll talk about that much, much more. And, of course, as always, we're taking your questions, your comments, and your calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Of course, guys, prayers up to Damar Hamlin, the Bills defensive back, who I believe right now is still in intensive care. And, of course, just goes to show, we care so much about football and sports and everything else, but life is much, much, much bigger than any of those things that I just mentioned. Of course, when you have a situation like this and you have a dude fighting for his life, playing the game that he loves, fighting for his life because of it, it just reminds us that life can be very fragile. But either way, we are going to try to keep this thing as normal as possible. Let's see. Yeah, the Damar Hamlin family releasing a statement this morning as well. But again, we're going to try to keep this thing as normal as possible, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Of course, as always, TDC brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Go download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com. When you do, use the promo code TSUS to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. Guys, you can play anything and everything, college sports, pro sports, everything in between. I just wanted to take a look and see if they've got, I'm sure they do have prop plays for tonight's game against the Vanderbilt Commodores. Again, so many listeners and fans of the Spurs Up Show have made tons of money with our friends at Prize Picks, and you should as well. So again, that's our friends at Prize Picks. Go download the app or go to prizepicks.com. When you do, use the promo code TSUS at sign up to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. And I'm just taking a look here. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing the South Carolina game yet. They've got Tennessee, Mississippi State. They've got prop plays for that game. Notre Dame, Boston College, Syracuse, Louisville, Nebraska, Michigan State, Kentucky, LSU is tonight. Texas Tech and Kansas. So it looks like they've got the top games up there. Maybe later in the day, they will have the South Carolina Vanderbilt game. But I think when it comes to college basketball, they more so try to focus on the top matchups, if you will. So we shall see. Anyways, guys, Stephanie Lee, what's going on? Rakeem says Dak at quarterback next year. Never know how they're going to use him. Travi, all good. He says, sorry we didn't get a lot. Jay, we're on the opposite side tailgating. All good, my friend. All good. No big deal. I definitely understand. And I know that game day obviously was chaos. It was chaos for yours truly. Our friends over at Carolina Cigars got caught up a bit in regards to the traffic. The traffic on 95 was crazy. It was absolutely terrible. Was happy we got there on Wednesday. But, yeah, had a blast. And, Travi, we'll make sure we link up at some point. Again, we're at an interesting time of year. And what I love about you guys that tune in and show love and show support is that y'all will continue to tune in no matter what. And I always make the joke, right? Like over the summer, these are the ride or die daily crowers right here because, we have a lot of folks that just tune in during football season. That's totally fine, by the way. That's totally fine. I don't mind it. But we are now today. I think yesterday, obviously speaking on the bowl game, and that was our first conversation, since the Gator Bowl, if you will. And so I felt like that was a pretty normal conversation, pretty normal day. But, now I feel like we sort of start that transition, right? We start that transition from football is in the rear view. Of course, football is 24/7, 365. College football season never ends for fans in the SEC. But truly, we are starting that transition from football is now in our rear view. We now move forward to basketball. Of course, again, the SEC slate getting going today. We've got baseball upcoming in a little over a month. So, and of course, the only football-related news really right now is we sit and we wait for other signees and recruiting. We wait for the decisions of Spencer Rattler and Juice Wells. We wait for any other transfer portal or whether it be departures or arrivals. We wait on things like that. And then, spring practice, of course, does not even begin until early in March. So, it's exciting times, though. And again, these are fun times. I told you guys before, organic conversation, the greatest content derives from organic conversation. That's certainly what we have right now. So, anyways, guys, would love to hear from you. Whatever's on your mind. 843-790-3377. I will say this. I'm a little antsy because I am ready to start talking about, way too early predictions for the 2023 season. But until we get official word on Spencer Rattler and Juice Wells, I don't feel comfortable throwing out a prediction, right? I don't feel comfortable, making a prediction without knowing who our starting quarterback is going to be and if Juice Wells is going to return. Let's see. Okay, I see my guy Brian Lattimore in the TDC Questions channel, the Big Cock Club Discord. By the way, guys, join the Big Cock Club. We'll be watching basically all the basketball and baseball games in the BCC Hangout. Going to be a really good time. It's basically like Twitter Spaces on steroids, right? You've been in a Twitter Space before where it's just like audio and a bunch of people talk. Well, we're pretty much doing that, but we're watching a game at the same time. So it's a lot of fun. If you want to talk with us, conversate, communicate, you can ask anybody in the Big Cock Club. I think our folks in there have a really, really good time being a part of that community. You want to support the Spurs Up Show, you're more than welcome to join. Patreon.com/Big Cock Club. We would love to have you. Austin Moore says, yo, I got you a blue 100 for that hat. I need that hat. This is a dope one. Yeah, I had my buddy, one of my buddies in Columbia before I left. He hooked me up with this last year. So this is the vintage June's Reigns cap, my guy. This is the vintage Reigns cap. So, and then we got the baseball shirt on. I'm kind of getting in baseball mode, man. Not going to lie to you. I'm kind of getting in baseball mode here. So, yeah, I just figured why not? We'd pull it out today. Brian Lattimore comments says, we're not here because of football. We're here because you built a community of friends, and we love to talk Gamecocks. Brian, that's what I love to hear, man. You're the man. Great to see you and great to hang out with you at the tailgate before the Gator Bowl. It was a lot of fun. So, anyways, guys, we can take this conversation wherever you want to go. Let's actually dive in here. I'm going to pull up just to give you guys a bit of a brief because I know we didn't talk about it on the Monday podcast because we focused obviously specifically on the Gator Bowl that took place. And in case you guys missed it, of course, we're going to have the Daily Crow noon to 2, Monday through Friday. That's not changing, but the podcast release schedule will now be Monday and Thursday, right? Monday, Thursday versus our normal Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think what's probably going to happen with that, as I've told you guys before, what'll probably happen is this. The first half of the year, so through June, we'll do this Monday, Thursday schedule. And then the second half of the year, beginning in July and going all the way through the end of the year, we'll go back to the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. And the reason is because July is when I start breaking down college football. I start talking Gamecocks football, and that for that, we need 3 shows, right? Because we have so much content. And I tell you guys, we have so much content in the preseason. There's so many things to break down between the position unit preview series, the opponent preview series, the all of the previews, the predictions, everything we do. Like, we need that time to create that content, if you will. We need that time. So we'll go back to 3 shows per week when we get into the month of July and throughout the rest of the year. But right now we're transitioning, as I told you guys, the Monday, Thursday show. But of course, we've got 2 hours on a daily basis to break everything down as well. On that note, you take a look at the Vanderbilt Commodores, 7-6 overall, right? This is their first conference game, of course, as well. 5-3 at home. And going through their schedule, they've lost to Memphis, Southern Miss, beat Temple in overtime, beat Morehead State, lost to St. Mary's, beat Fresno State, lost to VCU, beat Wofford, beat Pitt, lost to Grambling State, lost to NC State, beat Alabama A&M, beat Southeastern Louisiana, and now take on The Gamecocks, and if you look at most power rankings, though, South Carolina and Vandy right at the bottom. I think Vandy was picked to finish 13th in the league. We were picked to finish 14th. So this is really one of those games that, and I know it might sound ridiculous, but if your goal, if you know, I think one of your goals, obviously, for year one of Lamont Paris is just don't finish last. This is probably one you need to win because the number of SEC games that you're going to win this year, you could probably count on one hand. I mean, just keeping it realistic, I think you could probably count the number of SEC wins you're gonna acquire on one hand. So this one needs to be one of them, right? And if homie Lamont Paris wants to prove me wrong, I'd love to see it. If they go win 8, 9, 10 games, I'd love to see it. But realistically, you're probably eyeing a 3 or 4 win SEC slate at best. This needs to be one of them. This needs to be one of them, right? So we will see what happens. You take a look at Vandy, a little bit more of a deep dive, and let's see their season statistics. Vanderbilt averaging 69.8 points per game, giving up 65.9 points per game. Of course, the big departure from last year is the Pippen kid. Scotty, or excuse me, not Scotty. Who was it? Not Scotty Pippen. It was what was his name? What was his first name? It was Scotty Pippen's son, right? Let's see. Why am I drawing a blank here? I'm going to do a Google. I should have just done a Google search. Yeah, Scotty Pippen Jr. Okay, I'm not crazy. I was like, it is Scotty Pippen. Yeah, Scotty Pippen Jr. That is the big departure for them. Liam Robbins leads them in scoring right now, 11.9 points per game. Miles Stute, 11.5 points per game. Tyron Lawrence, 10.4 points per game. Then Jordan Wright at 9.5 points per game, so on and so forth. So I think the big storyline for the Gamecocks, of course, going to be G.G. Jackson. How does he fare in conference play? It'll be really fun to watch him continue to grow and evolve and just kind of see what everybody else can do, man. I'll be honest with you guys. I'd be lying to you if I said part of the reason we are scaling back from Monday, Wednesday, Friday to Monday, Thursday in regards to the podcast. Number one, I do believe it's more efficient. I really do. I really do, right? Because I'm someone, I love doing what I do, but we also do it on a daily basis, right? We do the Daily Crow Monday through Friday, noon to 2. So there's no need to. I remember, I think at this time last year, I was doing the Daily Crow Monday through Friday, noon to 2, and I was dropping 5 podcasts per week, which is absolutely crazy when you think about it. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of content. That's a lot of content, right? So, but one of the, unfortunately, one of the reasons too is that this, if we had a top 25 basketball team, a top 25 basketball program, I'd probably be itching to do game previews and do a 30-minute preview on the game and prediction and all that. But realistically, guys, that's just not where we are. And I'm not sitting here saying again, guys, I'm going to continue to talk about and to cover basketball. But my mindset on things in regards to content has also shifted a bit. When I first started, I felt like my number one priority, number one objective was to break down every single Gamecock sporting events to the deepest, to the nth degree, and give every single key matchup and key to the game and this. But as I've grown and evolved, and again, my mindset has shifted, what I've realized is this: my number one job or number one goal, my number one initiative, what I'm trying to accomplish is not that. I think that's what's kind of so funny, right? Like people on social media, they love to try to, or just in life in general, they try to put you in a box, right? And you can't put TSUS in a box. You can't put me in a box. Because what I'm here to do is not to, what I'm here to do is not to break down a game to a certain nth degree. It's not anything. It's just to entertain. We're here to provide an entertaining form of content for you all. Whether that be we talk football 24/7, 365, we talk baseball, whether basketball becomes the topic of conversation. But I guess the beauty of TDC is that you never know. I mean, anything could be the topic of conversation on this show. So I got a little distracted there for a second because Hunter Kelly, dude, I was just tightening up this. I got this wristband thing on my wrist. So just tighten this up, my guy. You cannot grab this with your hands. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. So appreciate the riveting question, Hunter. Thank you. Anyways, guys, 843-790-3377. Of course, it is game day. Also, by the way, speaking of football, the Under Armour All-American game will take place today at 5 o'clock on ESPNU. And the Gamecocks have 5 signees participating in that game. 4-star offensive lineman Marquis Anderson, 4-star offensive lineman Trovon Bowe, 4-star defensive lineman Xavier McLeod, 4-star defensive lineman Desmond Umeozulu, and 3-star wide receiver Kelton Henderson. So that should be a lot of fun to watch as well. If you got ESPNU, check it out, tune in, get a glimpse of the future, right? Get a glimpse of the future and what South Carolina is building, some of the stars they've signed, if you will. I'll probably cut that on and looking forward to watching and just sort of seeing what we got. So Stephen Dana, what's up? Appreciate you tuning in. Chase Floyd, what's going on, my friend? Grab your popcorn. Get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready. Indeed. Shannon DeWitt says, I'm thinking Joyner, Leggett will definitely be starters next season if Juice goes to the league. Yeah, and I will say this, Shannon, I would also expect us to pick up some wide receivers in the portal. You also factor in some young guys. You've got Omega Blake, Landon Sampson, some of these other guys. But, I mean, I would just say this. You need to boost the wide receiver room. There's no doubt. I mean, I think Xavier Leggett, I mean, I really do think we almost need to take a moment to stop and realize, because I don't know that it was not talked about enough. Xavier Leggett was one of the best stories of the 2022 season. Like when you look at the season and what made the season, and that's the fun part, right? Reflecting on the season start to finish. And they remember November, as Shane Beamer pointed out, right? Because we have this recency bias. We recall what most recently happened. But when you look at the season start to finish, again, one of the best storylines of the year was Xavier Leggett. Because how many folks, and hey, this includes yours truly, how many folks after that SC State game just completely wrote him off, right? Had the 2 drops that led to interceptions. And I remember thinking, okay, he needs to sit this one out the rest of the night. There were a lot of folks saying, hey, just don't even put him on the field the rest of the year. And for Xavier Leggett to have the mental toughness to not just bounce back and have a few catches here and there, he made some of the biggest plays of the season, right? I mean, I would argue that kickoff return against Texas A&M to start the game, that might have been the biggest play of the season. When you think about the way that it sparked that victory and the way that victory sparked, I think it led to what we saw at the end of the season. He went from people writing him off, he shouldn't see the field ever again, to being a big-time impact player down the stretch. And, of course, capped it off in the Gator Bowl, unfortunately, in a losing effort. One of the best catches, if not the best catch you'll see all year in college football. So, I think Xavier Leggett, sneaky, one of the best storylines of the Gamecocks 2022 season. Truly. Played his ass off. Played his tail off. So, yeah, I mean, I think Leggett certainly factors in next year as one of our top weapons, one of our top options. He's a dude that we've been looking at year in, year out, just hoping and praying and thinking, fingers crossed, this is his year. Maybe next year can be it. In regards to Dak Joyner, again, guys, we talked about that a bit yesterday, but I don't know. I don't know how you use him. I don't know how you use him. Yeah. I don't know how you use him. So, quarterback, receiver, running back, but he needs to touch the ball. I just, I totally understand. They practice, they practice every single day. The coaches know more than we do, guys. They know more. There's a reason guys play and don't play. They know more than we do. But it is kind of baffling, right, to to just see every time he touches the ball, good things happen. Like, why is he not touching it more? Give him a chance to fail. Give him a chance to fail. Let him show that, oh, okay, we need to scale it back now. But I think we're always left clamoring for more when it comes to Dak Joyner. We're always left asking or clamoring for more. So, I don't know. Anyways, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. DGD, what's up? How are you? Appreciate you tuning in. Chase said, I feel like that was our linebackers' best game was the bowl game. It's nice to see. Just hate the lack of depth. Had him gas in the fourth. Yeah, it really did. No, it really, really did. Just got worn out. Just got worn out in that second half, man. Just got worn out in that second half. So, again, guys, prayers up for Damar Hamlin, the safety from the Buffalo Bills. I actually was not watching the game, and I got a text from somebody and cut on Twitter, and obviously everything had gone crazy. But yeah, man, just wild, just wild. So it's sad. I mean, it's really sad. Football's a dangerous game, man. It is a dangerous, dangerous game, and it's scary. Scary what can happen. So. Anyways. Ashley Greer. NCAA's got to revise the NIL transfer portal and coaches contacting players to get them to transfer. I mean, what do you do? I just, Ashley, I don't disagree with you. I just, when I think about that stuff, it's like, what's the solution? You know? Travis Allen says, per sources, Torian Gray being sought after by Florida State. I had not heard that, really. Really? Florida State just, they're pursuing all our guys, aren't they? They seem to be going after all our guys. Gilbert Edmond too, right? I think Gilbert Edmond was visiting FSU. If I heard correctly. I'm pretty sure Gilbert Edmond was visiting FSU. I'm almost positive. Let's see. I don't know. Just very, I don't know. Just interesting. All right, let's jump to the phone lines.
From
Hunter, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. What about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
So what you think they're gonna put DK at? Like, is it this year?
Yeah. So where do I think they're going to put Dak Joyner in 2023? I think he's going to remain at wide receiver. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know how much differently they're going to really use him. I mean, maybe he'll touch it more, but I don't think the Dakereon Joyner will get moved to quarterback. I don't see it. I don't see it. So I think he'll still be a wide receiver.
Yeah, for sure. There's a bunch of tight end choices too. What I'm wondering about, and running back, who's going to be like the starting running back and all. I think we got somebody from Arkansas. I forgot his name. Who was it?
Yeah, Trey Knox, which is a really good pickup.
Knox,
so he'll be an immediate starter, obviously, and I think a big time contributor for us.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, that'll push out a lot of wins for this year. But I mean, hopefully we got the depth. I don't know if we got the depth or not, but I'm just talking it out there.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, Hunter. The 2023 season is going to be really interesting no matter what. Because either Spencer Rattler and Juice Wells return, and I think South Carolina is viewed as a dark horse in the SEC East to challenge, a Tennessee that's replacing its quarterback, a Georgia that's replacing its quarterback, a Florida that's in disarray, a Kentucky that has a new quarterback. I think the Gamecocks will be looked at
they have,
pretty favorably.
Devin Leary, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll be really, or you're going to have a team in South Carolina that, the quarterback battle will be on because Rattler and Wells will no longer be here. So it's going to be interesting no matter what.
Yeah. No, it's not. Sorry, I was kind of slow today. I stutter a little bit when I get nervous.
No, you're totally fine, man. You're totally good.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man.
Hunter, thanks so much for the call, my guy. Yep. Take care. Great stuff from Hunter. Now, the point I was making, though, is that, and I think about it almost selfishly from the content perspective, but the 2023 season is going to be really, really interesting no matter what happens, right? And I know that might sound obvious, but you think about it. Either Spencer Rattler and Juice Wells are going to return. And I think if that happens, South Carolina is going to be viewed as one of the dark horses in the SEC East, no doubt, to challenge the Georgia Bulldogs. Because you think about it, Georgia will be replacing their quarterback. Tennessee going to be replacing their quarterback. Florida's in disarray. Kentucky will have a new quarterback. And that game will be in Columbia. Missouri, you'll have to go to Como, but they've got their own set of issues. And then Vandy is Vandy. So I think the Gamecocks, realistically, if Rattler and Wells return, I think they're viewed as a dark horse to maybe win double-digit games and win the SEC East, as crazy as that sounds. If those two gentlemen do not return, if Spencer Rattler and Juice Wells declare for the NFL draft, it will be so intriguing and so much fun to follow this quarterback competition going into the 2023 season. And just how long does it go on, right? Because you've got Luke Doty, who started a number of games in the 2021 season. And let's not forget, by the way, he was named the starter officially after the spring game in 2021. So this coaching staff likes Luke Doty. It doesn't matter if you like Luke Doty or your friend or your cousin. The coaching staff obviously likes him to some degree. Then you've got a bunch of unproven yet talented guys behind him. Then you've got a Dakereon Joyner coming back who I don't think they're going to move him to quarterback, but it's at least an interesting conversation. Then you've got the transfer portal. And then also, by the way, you factor in how does this quarterback competition and quarterback battle, how does it impact expectations for year three? Because most view year three as, all right, this is the year where you kind of determine what's the trajectory of the program under the current head coach. But it almost feels like year two was year three for South Carolina, if that makes sense, based off you look at who they picked up, who they had. So it's going to be really interesting, right? It's going to be really interesting. And I do think for certain, and it might sound like no dud, it's obvious, but I've seen projections and predictions from people. And I've heard people talk about, well, it doesn't matter what they do. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The decisions of Spencer Rattler and Antwane Wells greatly impact the 2023 season. I think it's the difference probably between fighting for 6 or 7 wins and potentially being a dark horse in the SEC East. I think it makes that much of a difference what those two guys do. So, I think it's but it's going to be so like from the content perspective, guys. Like I said, there are a couple of things that are like big buzzwords or buzz topics for content, right? They're just things people love to talk about. I think coaching searches is probably number one, because I'll tell you this: when Will Muschamp was fired, and we were talking about the coaching search, and dude, it was on a daily basis. The numbers were crazy because everybody wants to know. Who the hot name is, what have you. And Calvin Muldoon, no, I did not go to USC. No, I went to Newberry College and played baseball. I got into South Carolina. I don't know if many people know that, which, whatever. I got into South Carolina, considered going, but followed my passion, followed my heart, and wanted to be a college athlete. And that is a decision I have never and will never regret, my guy. That was a blast. So, no, I did not go to USC. I chased the baseball dream. So I thought about it. It was tough to say no. It was tough to say no because I was born and raised a Gamecock, but it also wasn't tough to say no because I was like, I'm a baseball player. I'm playing baseball. So anyways, no, I did not go to USC. I don't know. The amount of people who do not know that is interesting. And I think most people do that. Most people know that I went to Newberry, but no, did not go to South Carolina. Either way, though, if Rattler does not come back, though, like I was talking about, the buzz topics, if you will, the buzz topics that are so interesting, quarterback battle and quarterback competition is definitely one that moves the needle. That is something that, you spend the entire preseason, right? You spend the entire preseason talking about it, debating it, especially if a guy like Luke Doty is anointed the starter. There's going to be a lot of people that disagree, right? But I just, that's why when people ask me, who do you prefer the starter be? It's a cop-out answer, but it's true. Like, I don't care who the starter is. I just want to win games. Whoever wins the job, that's who I want the starter to be, right? It's a weird feeling, too, with Luke Doty. It's weird how quickly people want to write him off. It's weird. It's weird. Like, and I think it's because with quarterbacks, it's like at the first sign of trouble, people are just ready to throw you out. They're just ready to you're done. You're done. You don't have it. You're either great from the jump and you're great throughout, or for people like the first sign of trouble, it's like, nope, you're done. You're done. So I don't know. It'll be interesting though. It'll be very interesting if Rattler and Wells do leave, and I just really think Coach Ford says Doty has never shown an SEC arm, has not played competitive football in years. Coach Ford, did he not play last year? And he also played this year. I know it was in garbage time, but he did play. So, anyways. But I do think, and I just wonder, though, one of my questions is I wonder if this fan base will be able to, because I don't understand. Like, again, I've seen people literally throwing out 10-2 predictions for the 2023 season. It's like, how can you make a prediction when you don't even know if your quarterback's returning or not? How? You know? So I'm excited. I mean, I hope they announce quickly because, I am excited. I'd love for Thursday's podcast to be, our way too early predictions and stuff like that. So, by the way, guys, I'm locked in. I've got 74-68 Vanderbilt getting the W tonight. Who knows truly though what's going to happen? Vandy's a 9.5-point favorite, which I gotta say, I'm actually pretty damn surprised it's that much. I mean, Vandy's not good. Vandy's not good. I mean, we take a look at the SEC basketball power rankings here. Here we go. 4 hours ago, our friends at Saturday Down South, they put out power rankings. This is what they have to say, okay? I'm going to read Vandy's and South Carolina's. This is what they say for Vandy. It feels strange to say this, but Tuesday night's game in Nashville between South Carolina and Vandy is must-see TV. If the Commodores can't win this one, they might not win an SEC game all year. After Tuesday night's home game, the Commodores visit number 20 Mizzou and number 8 Tennessee. Then home games against number 13 Arkansas and number 7 Alabama await. Brutal. Here's what they say about the Gamecocks, who rank 13th, by the way, in the SEC power ranking. So Vandy 14, South Carolina 13. Literally the bottom two. Saturday Down South says, can South Carolina start SEC play with a bang? As mentioned above, the Gamecocks head to Nashville on Tuesday night to take on the Commodores in a game that could decide the worst team in the conference. GG Jackson will need to have a big night to win on the road. We'll see what happens for the Gamecocks, but this would be a really nice win to build confidence moving forward. I mean, oh, the homie Lamont. God bless the homie Lamont, dude. God bless the homie Lamont. Find some joy. I hear you. Yeah, I mean, we you know, Steven, to your point, we don't deserve any respect right now. We got to go earn it. I mean, we're not a very good basketball team at all. Not even remotely. We're not even remotely a very good basketball team. So, Hunter Kelly says, if Spence and Juice come back, would you predict 10-2? Great question, Hunter. That's a great question. No, probably not. Right. I haven't sat down, looked at the schedule, gone through it, whatever. South Carolina's biggest issue in 2023, guys, it's not going to be the quarterback. It's not going to be the wide receiver. It's going to be the line of scrimmage. And I hate to say that, and people just get so sick and tired of talking about it, but I think that's going to be the number one question mark that I have is you lose a lot on the offensive and defensive lines, and you're bringing in some great players, but you're going to be relying on a lot of young guys, a lot of freshmen. And winning in the SEC and being young are two things that do not go together. They just don't. They don't. You need experience in the trenches. The best teams in the SEC, they got these third and fourth and fifth year guys up front. So, and I think you look at the first half of the schedule as well. It just does not bode well for a young, inexperienced team at the most important positions on the field, which is the line of scrimmage on both sides. So I think picking 10 wins for this team is still very aggressive. I think it is overzealous, and it's, I didn't expect to win 10 games in year 3. I didn't expect it. So, I don't know what I'm going to pick, Hunter. I don't know what I'm going to pick, but I still think picking 10-2 with the issues we have up front. Because, I mean, guys, you look at the bowl game, for example, right? I mean, Notre Dame's not world beaters, but they're a good team. They've got talent, right? Obviously. We lost that game because of the line of scrimmage, like straight up. That defense you saw on the field, that's basically our defense next year. I mean, outside of the additions, like I got, a Pup Howard's going to play as a freshman. Stone Blanton will be a year better. But I mean, guys, that defense, I am worried about the defense in 2023. I'm worried about the defense. This might be a year we go 6-6 or 7-5 because the defense is bad. I don't know. That's because, again, that defense we saw, that's the defense we're going to have. And it isn't like we're bringing in right now a huge influx of portal guys on the defense to help. Not that I'm seeing. So it might be a year in which we need to score 38 a game to get to 8 wins. And Coach Ford, I hear you. I understand that defense had a couple weeks to prepare. That defense also gave up almost 600 yards of offense, Coach Ford. So, I mean, I hear you. But I'm just making the point that I am a bit concerned about the defense. I mean, you gave up I talked about it yesterday, but you gave up over 190 yards per game on the ground, and you lost a lot of guys on that defense. You're losing a lot of guys on that defense. So, I understand, Coach Ford, the offense was, the defense scored as much as the offense. Yeah, I mean, you lost a lot on offense as well, my guy. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to use the opt-out excuse for that game, but, I think all things considered, Rattler played pretty well. But I don't know. A tough one for sure, but it is what it is. I mean, 8-5 in year 2 of Beamer. I'm happy about it. Honestly, I'm pretty happy about it. Anyways, let's see. All right. That being said, guys, we're going to jump into a quick break, our first of the day. On the other side, I want to continue to hear from you, more of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more here on this Tuesday. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. In case you missed it, Jovan Gwynn has officially declared for the NFL draft. So, a veteran offensive lineman I think he was did he have any eligibility? He was a redshirt senior. He might have had one more year. I don't know, honestly. But anyways, Jovan Gwynn making it official on his Instagram. Yeah, he was on campus since 2018. So I think he did. I think he had the COVID year if he wanted it. Yeah, I think it's the year, I believe. So, yep, Jovan Gwynn. Jovan Gwynn officially headed to the next level. Wishing the best of luck. He was a good player for South Carolina. Anyways, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Guys, again, appreciate you all tuning in. Let's see. Buck Thomas says defense doesn't win games anymore. You just have to play enough. You have to score 40 plus to have a chance to win weekly. Look at the bowl games. Buck, that leads me to an interesting question, just real quick. I'll ask you this. Would you rather be a fan of a team that is elite offensively and porous defensively? So week in, week out, you got to outscore your opponent. Or would you rather be a fan of a team who is elite defensively but porous offensively? So if you're going to win, they got to be a low-scoring type of game. What would you rather deal with over the course of a season? Me personally, give me the shootouts because at least it's entertaining, right? I'd almost rather go 7-5 and average 50 points per game than go 8-4 and average 20 points per game, right? It's just a more fun product. It's just a far more fun product. But what would you guys prefer? That's always a fun conversation because then you find out who's an offensive-minded, defensive-minded, right? Buck Thomas would rather be elite offensively. At least the games are more fun to watch. You've seen the alternative for years. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, my guy. Because I know what the answer is because I hear and feel this fan base and yeah. I mean it's even when we're winning, we're not scoring. It's just not a lot of fun. It's not a lot of fun, guys. Not a lot of fun. Guys, I will say this. Thank y'all so much yet again for the love and support on Twitter. We all know that at times Twitter can be chaotic. It can be hectic, but the growth we saw in 2022 on Twitter, man, 14,000 new followers we gained. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. We almost doubled in size on Twitter in 2022. So thank you guys so much. Let's jump right to the phone lines here.
Call from
Robbie Davis, Zaxby's Hall of Famer.
Robbie Davis, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing on this Tuesday?
I'm doing fantastic.
It is Tuesday, right?
It is Tuesday. Yeah. I'm doing fantastic. Appreciate you asking what's going on.
I would rather have an elite defense, but a good offense. Because if your offense is good enough, you're going to move the football, okay? There's no sense. If you have a good offense, you're going to move the football. So if I had to choose, I would rather have a good offense, but a defense that nobody wants to go against. Like whenever you play whenever you play the defense I'm talking about, like whenever they see you go on the field, they're already shaking before they even set foot on the field to go up against your defense. They're already nervous.
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid to make a mistake, and if they're afraid to make a mistake, they're going to make a mistake.
Facts.
So I would rather have an elite defense and a good offense any day. Offense gets you points. Defense wins you championships. Period.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You make a good point. You make a good point. It's not very fun to watch in the meantime, but you do make a good point.
And I think that, and I also agree with you with the whole QB situation, right? If Rattler and Juice do not come back, it's going to be an interesting offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if they do come back, it'll also still be an interesting offseason to see what people are going to think if they do come back. I'm honestly shocked they haven't made their decisions yet. But then again, this is a difficult decision. So if it was me, I would take my time and make sure I'm doing the right thing.
Right.
Before I'm 100% come out and say I'm either staying or I'm going. So it'll be interesting in the off season. I'm pretty sure we'll find out something at some point. If we find out something, I wouldn't be surprised if we found out something before April, because, like you said earlier, I mean, spring ball starts in April.
Well, it actually starts in early March, Robbie, and they do have a they've only got till January 16th to announce, so we're going to know within the next 2 weeks. Right, we're going to know very soon. Yeah.
So. Okay, so
I think the transfer portal, I believe that closes January the 18th. So we're going to know a lot pretty soon. So
yeah, so within the next 2 weeks we'll find out something, and we're either going to be upset or very happy, because that's usually how it works.
Right.
But I just, like I said the other day, I'm just gonna, trust Beamer. He's built. I truly do believe he's building something special. I mean, the recruiting class that we have so far is proof of that. He's building something special, and just I'm gonna do, like I've said, also just sit back and watch him cook. Just let Beamer cook. Doggone it, just let him cook. While Beamer's in the kitchen, you let him cook. You do not show him how to cook. Let him cook. He knows what he's doing. Coaching legend. And he was an assistant for some coaching legends. So let him cook. Now, does that mean he's going to hit a home run every time he gets a recruit? No, that's not going to happen. Okay? You're not going to hit a home run every time you step up to the plate. And I know I just used the baseball term, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I do believe that we're definitely on the up and up. I think we'll shock some people regardless of what happens. With Spencer and Juice. I think next year we'll have some issues, obviously, because we lost a lot of people on defense. We lost Pickens, Rush, and Cam Smith. Now, judging from what I saw from DQ Smith in the bowl game, he has definitely got a lot of very good upside, for sure.
Yeah, we got a lot of exciting young guys for sure on the defensive side with Eamon Worry and DQ Smith, and I think some of those other guys as well. Yeah, we're in a good spot, I think, in regards to the young players on defense.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how well they develop going into this coming season. Like, see how the coaches have developed them and made them better, because, like you just said, right, there's a lot of very good upside to the team, right, for 2023. But just because there's good upside does not mean that we're going to win 10, 11 games in year year 3, going into year 3 of Beamer,
Mhm.
if my
Yes,
math is correct
yes,
in my head.
yes.
Yeah. Sometimes whenever you're on the road, you're going to hit some bumps, okay?
Mhm.
And we're going to probably hit some major bumps going into the 2023 season because of all the players that we lost, the very good talent that we lost. But my advice to all Gamecock fans is whenever it feels like the poop is going to hit the fan, okay, don't panic, all right? Don't panic, all right? Beamer's gonna right the ship. Come Hades or high water, he's gonna right the ship,
Right.
and he's gonna turn us into a contender.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too, man. Hey, we're in it for the long haul. We're in it for the long haul. So Beamer's not on the
and
hot
my
seat.
prediction for tonight, by the way, my prediction for tonight, I think the magic number is 70-ish for South Carolina. So I think it'll be 75-71 South Carolina. I think the magic number is 70. I think our defense is better than Vandy. I haven't watched any Vandy games, none, but I think our links will give Vandy some fits, and I got us winning 75-71.
You're riding with the homie Lamont. I love that. I love that.
So, but yeah, I just, and honestly, do I think Lamont is the guy? We really still don't know yet. This is still an early part of his coaching career at South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
We won't know what this team can be until maybe, if we're lucky, year 2. But I think by year 3, he'll have the guys that he truly wants, and he'll make us not a contender per se, but we'll give teams some fits.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I got.
Which is the goal in
Have a
year
great
1.
rest
Just
of
give
your
teams
day.
just give teams some fits. I agree.
Yeah, just make it to the point where whenever they see you on the schedule, they go, "Oh crap, we got to travel to Cola."
Robbie
or South Carolina's coming here.
Yeah,
we're in trouble.
Robbie, my good friend Chase Floyd guessed that you were having fish sticks for lunch. What is for lunch for Robbie Davis today? I need to know.
Well, I actually ate an early lunch before the show came on, but I had a ham sandwich with mayonnaise and Frank's Red Hot hot sauce.
Okay. Sounds delicious. You're making me hungry.
What, you want to go get you a pub sub now, don't you?
Love a pub sub, man. I tell you, I'm a love a pub sub.
One of these days, I'm going to try a pub sub. One of these days, I'm going to go to Publix and get me a pub sub. One of these days. And before I get out of here, prayers to the Bills players' family for sure, because I didn't even know about it until I checked Facebook this morning. So prayers to that family for sure. And you have a great rest of your day. And like always, leave the dumb stuff to me. Go Gamecocks, and to hell with Clemson.
Well said as always. Robbie, you're the man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, buddy. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. You too. Take care. Great stuff from Robbie Davis as always. Tyler Noel says Robbie Davis needs a Twitter. I don't think he has one. I don't think so. Robbie Davis is on Facebook. I think that's all he's on, though. I don't think Robbie Davis is on anything else except for Facebook. So Robbie Davis on Twitter. What a time that would be. What a time that would be indeed. Anyways, 843-790-3377. Robbie Davis picking the dub, 75-71. From your lips to God's ears. Robbie Davis, from your lips to God's ears. Stacey Gibson says, single best player we've ever had on the worst team I can remember us having. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy, but I don't know. We're in a really interesting place when it comes to our basketball program. By the way, shout out to the women's team who won last night. Winning by 17, I guess, is a bad game for them, but they did come back. Zia Cook with 31 points beat the Georgia Bulldogs. Great job to get the dub on the road, by the way. Jeff Gullidge, the plan is I'm going to try to get JC. I'm going to text JC about coming on the show Thursday. Let's see. I'll text him right now, actually. They are back on their show tomorrow. So they're returning from their break for New Year's, Christmas, all that good stuff tomorrow. I will, like I said, I just fired over a text. We'll see if JC, the plan will be to have him on Thursday. Yeah, the plan is to have JC on every single Thursday at 1:15. Every single Thursday at 1:15, we'll be having him on. So I'll let you guys know if anything changes with that. And obviously, as you see, guys, right now, you know, we're not doing the daily guests anymore. And I don't know. I will look into more, you know, maybe if we want to bring someone on for basketball. I mean, I've got some names in mind that I think will be really good to have on once a week. I don't think we're going to have guests on, obviously, though, guys, every single day, you know, when it's not football season. I don't think we're going to have daily guests on when it's not football season. So, you know, I think it's just going to be a lot of us chatting and that's the beauty of TDC, though, right? Like we don't have to have daily guests on to, you know, we don't have to have daily guests for this show to be incredible, right? So that's the calls. You guys are what make this show great, honestly. So, but we're in an interesting spot with basketball, man, because I think most fans, I think most all fans are okay, right, with living with the growing pains in year one, new head coach, the severe transition that you're going through. But Lamont Paris is just fighting for people's interest at this point because just from my vantage point, it feels like most folks, especially if things starting tonight in SEC play, if things go south, I think most folks are just going to tune out basketball and not look back. And, you know, they're going to give Lamont Paris time. I really do believe it. I don't think anybody out there is holding Lamont Paris to the fire, calling for his job in year one, because I think that'd be foolish. But, you know, what made the last two seasons interesting is there were expectations because of 2017 and that Final Four run. And, you know, the big storylines going into the last two seasons were about Frank Martin and his job security. And that made the season interesting. It's like, I guess I ask you this question. What about this season is interesting? Like outside of Gigi Jackson, what about this season is interesting? You know what I mean? Because even with Gigi Jackson's greatness, if you will, like the rest of the team around him is the product as a whole is so bad that it almost like it dims the light of Gigi Jackson to such a level where it's hard to even enjoy it. So it's an uphill battle for Lamont Paris, no doubt. It's an uphill battle for him, and you know, I don't know how long it's going to take. You know, Coach Ford makes the point here. Basketball is a much heavier lift than football, right? Not the in-state prep talent surrounded by schools like Duke, UNC, Tennessee, Bama, Kentucky. This will be a long, slow lift. I don't disagree with you. I really don't disagree with you. Yeah, Cody Branch, baseball season coming up. Cody, that's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, I'm a baseball guy, right? I mean, for me, people ask me all the time, what's your favorite to cover? You know, football and baseball are like 1A, 1B for me because there's nothing like a a Saturday in the fall, right? And there's nothing like football season when it comes to content and how fired up people get and how excited folks get. But I'm a baseball guy, right? I love baseball through and through, and I get super amped for baseball, just like I do football. Basketball is like, I don't know, man. It's just sort of there. It's just sort of there. So it's just sort of there right now. So I don't know. Tyler Knoll, if we do indeed get Rocket Sanders, our running back room will be deep again. Will it? Will it be deep, Tyler Knoll? Juju's a good player. Lavassier Carroll's never had a collegiate carry. And Dontavius Braswell's a true freshman. I'm not saying there'll be a lack of talent, but I think to call the running back room deep is a bit of a stretch. I think it'll be a talented room. It'll be a very, very, very unproven room. Very unproven. Very unproven. So, I'm not trying to rain on your parade, but I think to tout how deep the running back room is I don't know. I mean, even this year, even this year, you had Lloyd, Beal Smith was just hurt all year. Juju was okay. And then outside of that, pretty much nobody. I mean, dude, we were so deep at running back, we had to put Jaheim Bell back there. So, Coach Ford, why did Carroll nor Amos get a carry? Amos, I have no idea. Lavassier Carroll was hurt in the bowl game, or hurt for the bowl game, so he didn't play. But why did he not get a carry all year? I have no idea. How in the world was Jaheim Bell our best option? Like, that's how deep we were at running back, guys. Jaheim Bell was our best running back the second half of the season. Wow, what a stat here, by the way. The Baseball Cube, South Carolina colleges with the most drafted players since 2003. South Carolina has had 113 players selected. Got a spam call here. Selected in the draft. Clemson right behind them at 111. How about Coastal, 77, College of Charleston, 55, USC Aiken, then 25. Let's see. Newberry down there with 8. I can think of a few because I played with them. How about it? It's pretty cool. But South Carolina, number 113 players drafted since 2003. That's impressive. That's a lot of ball players. It's a lot of ball players. Brian Dean, we got the kid transferring from Newberry. He should bolster our running back room. Yeah, Mario Anderson. I mean, go Wolves. I'm excited to see how much he will play. Bruin Nation says, can't wait for the Fire Kingston merch again. Bro, I don't want to have to re-promote that. I really don't. I don't want to have to promote that. I don't want to. It's a selfish thing too, Bruin Nation, because I love Carolina baseball. So, I'll be honest with you. I'm not going into the season the opening series and just the first strikeout, fire Kingston. I'm not doing that. And again, maybe that's a selfish thing. I've got a soft spot for Carolina baseball. And the reason I waited so long last season is because I don't want firing the head coach to be the top storyline of my baseball season. And I say my baseball season, our baseball season, but selfishly, it's my season too. I don't want that to be the top storyline. I don't. I don't. How 2020 for South Carolina football was just all it was Fire Muschamp. That's all it was, Fire Muschamp. That's it. And then the top storyline for Gamecocks basketball the last 2 years was, Frank Martin's job security. What's his job security like? What's the status of his job? I'd like to focus on the field of play. Now, If it gets to a certain point, just like it did last year, where it just becomes painfully obvious that something needs to happen, then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I'm not entering the season with just, you know, a fire the head coach mentality off the jump. I am really, really hoping and praying and have my fingers crossed that we see something we did not see last year. I'm hoping and praying that because I tell you guys, as much as I love Carolina baseball, last year was brutal. I mean, it was brutal for all of us, not just for me, for all of us, but it was absolutely brutal. I mean, just going through that, you know, on a because I tell you, baseball, when you're not good, that's a long season. I mean, that's a long, long season. So, yeah. Got a lot of people asking about Rocket Sanders, guys. I've just heard through the grapevine rumors saying that Rocket Sanders, there is potential, there's a possibility that he could land at South Carolina. Again, these are just rumors per sources season. We'll see what happens. But yeah, heard it at the Gator Bowl that and from a reputable source. Right. Anyways. Brian Dean says Kingston leads us to Omaha. It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. Monty Lee makes a huge impact. My record prediction is 52-16. Brian, if we go 52-16, my guy, we are swinging the bats really well. I mean, Brian, I would love nothing more. I would absolutely love nothing more than for South Carolina to go to Omaha because – Like, please take up my June being in Omaha. I would kill for that. I really would. Like, I've told people my dream scenarios are doing the Daily Crow outside of the stadium where South Carolina football is playing for either the SEC championship or the national championship, and then doing the Daily Crow in Omaha, Nebraska, because we're there for the College World Series because the Gamecocks are there. Like what a time that would be. What a time. Yeah, I'd love it. I'd personally love it. Because I can tell you guys this, and I talked about this last year, and I did not do it, right? I did not do it for multiple reasons, but just decided not to. But because South Carolina's baseball season was over by June 1st. It was over. If that's the case yet again, which I'm praying to God it's not. Praying to God. Again, we got a long way to go before this, but not to spoil it, but yours truly going to take some time off for the first time in forever. We're probably going to take 2-3 weeks off, just completely off. No podcast, no TDC, no nothing. We'll be on social media, but that'll probably be like the last 2 weeks of June, maybe first week of July as well. But, yeah. We're going to take us some time. Hey, again, that's a ways away, but I've just been thinking about that. So. Anyways, we'll see what happens with baseball. Lynn Turner, I hope we have a great baseball season. My unpopular opinion. I'm not thrilled about the Monty Lee hire. Why, Lynn? Why? What's the reasoning? What's the reasoning behind that? Is it because he comes from Clemson? What's your reasoning behind that? We can talk about all that and more on the side, guys. We're going to jump into a quick break. Again, of course, I want to continue to hear from you. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Yeah, Gene Lott saw it that Jovan Gwynn is turning pro officially. I know he had kind of hinted that he would be doing that, but it is officially official. Jovan Gwynn will be headed to the NFL draft. So wish him best of luck. I think he had a COVID year he could have taken advantage of, but you know, I don't much blame him at all. I mean, the guy's been in college since 2018, so it's about that time. It's about that time to hit the next level. By the way, guys, I know that I have not fixed the countdown video, if you will. I know I've still got the Carolina Ale House graphic, and I keep saying I'm going to fix it, and it's been up there for over a month, so I apologize. But I will be meeting with Carolina Ale House over the next week or so, and if everything goes the way I want it to go, I know you guys, and I felt like at least you guys were big fans of the summer tour, the TSUS tour that we had with Carolina Ale House. I would really like to do a spring tour. I would love to do that again. Maybe late February, early March through a 6 or 7 week period. I'd love to do that. So I will be chatting with Carolina Ale House in regards to making that a reality. I think a spring and a summer tour would be really cool. And, you know, again, I just love going across the state, meeting up with all you great people and talking Gamecocks and selling merch and doing the damn thing. So we'll let you know what's going on, but I'm looking forward to meeting up with the Carolina Ale House folks. And we got a lot of fun things in store and looking forward to even bigger and better in 2023. Also, by the way, I'll go ahead and put this out there, guys. We are taking on new partners and new sponsors in the 2023 calendar year. So if you or anyone you know might be interested, whether you're a small business, you're a big business, you're an individual entity, whatever it might be, if you think you could benefit. And, you know, we work with all types of businesses before in the past. So, you know, I will probably throw out a post about that as well. But, you know, always looking to partner up with great businesses and help small businesses out and have strategic partnerships that can help both parties. So I just wanted to go ahead and point that out and throw that out there that we are taking on new partnerships. And I'm also working behind the scenes, trying to secure some much bigger partnerships as well. So exciting things happening behind the scenes here. Lynn Turner says this about Monty Lee. His Clemson teams were never great when he got to conference play. I know it makes a difference that he's not the head coach, but his Clemson teams always hit the skids mid-season. I think Tanner was as responsible for his success and as an assistant at SC as he was. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, that's fair. That's fair, Lynn. I'll tell you this. I think I might be a little biased, right? A little bit biased when it comes to you know, I'm going to be a bit biased with Lee because I know guys that have played for him and were recruited by him and know him pretty well. And I've never met anybody that's had a bad thing to say about the guy, right? So I think Monty Lee's a great addition. He's a Gamecock. He was a Gamecock first. We shall see. I think we all agree this is a put up or shut up year. Like this is the year for Kingston, right? We all know that. This is the year for Kingston. You know, they're either going to win and win big or he's gone. Bottom line, win and win big or he's gone. And we'll talk about this much more as we get closer to first pitch. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think this is a year where there's no wiggle room here. Either shit or get off the pot, right? I think super regionals or bust is a real thing for Mark Kingston. So, guys, again, appreciate you all tuning in. We are officially transitioning from, I feel like the football mania, the football chaos into a little bit more of a tame, calm, post-football type of vibe. So maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know, whatever it might be. Let's see. Aaron Hodges. Do they have the guns to get to the Super Regional? Which is an interesting way of phrasing that question. But we've got the pitching, Aaron, no doubt. And again, we'll break this down more so as we get closer to the baseball season. But we've got the pitching. I mean, I think we've got the arms the question will be the same question it's been since Kingston basically was hired. It's that, can we hit? Can we hit? If this team hits 270 or better, we're going to the Supers. We might even go to the College World Series. Like, literally. That's how good I think the pitching can be. If guys stay healthy, yeah, I think we're in a good spot. We're in a really, really good spot. So Hunter Kelly, spring ball will not start until early March, probably. I'm sure that Shane Beamer will give us all an idea of when spring ball will start. Sometime, I don't know when he's going to speak. I mean, I don't think Shane Beamer will speak to the media again until signing day in February. Like, I don't think he's speaking to the media for quite a while. I mean, what reason would he have to speak to the media? There's nothing going on. So all they're doing is recruiting, and I don't know. He might have some media appearance I don't know about, but yeah. I would expect spring ball, Hunter Kelly. Normally it starts around like March 8th or 9th or 10th or somewhere around there. Yeah, I would expect it to start at some point then. So, yeah, but spring's a fun time, man. You got spring football, you got baseball, you got the spring game, you've got, all kinds of stuff going on. So it's a good time and a lot of fun, and yeah. So. John Edward, we won't hit. Look over the years on a Kingston. Yeah, John Edward, I know. I'm very well aware, my guy. I'm very well aware of what what we've done. I tell you though, I'm really excited for it, but South Carolina should have a pretty damn good opportunity to have a hot start of the season. UMass Lowell to open up, that should be a sweep. Winthrop on a Tuesday night. Queens on Wednesday. So I think we're back, by the way. This wasn't a thing last year. Or maybe that's just the first week of the season. No? There's a couple more. Okay. So I was going to say, you guys might recall, okay, once we get in SEC play, it doesn't. So twice this season, we play Tuesday, Wednesday, midweek. So that used to be a thing. But then COVID happened and the schedule got kind of all funky, whatever. But so UMass Lowell for 3, we open up with. Winthrop on Tuesday, Queens on Wednesday. Then a 3-game. Whoa, what happened? King. Okay, we're good. We're back. My camera was doing some funky things, folks. We hit the remix. It might be this Logitech camera, folks. I don't know. Maybe it's the camera. I have no idea. Apologies for the remix there. We hit the remix. Anyways, I don't know. That was the Kingston hackers, some sort of hackers that just hit us. Let me know if you guys can hear me, see me okay. Hackers are thriving. The hackers are never thriving, my guy. We're always one up in the hackers. They can't do anything to us. They can't. We got it. We're all good. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? What's going on? Let me get some feedback here. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? What's up? The Maryland hackers. Hackers of all sorts, my guy. Hackers of all sorts. We're good. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Yep. Looks like the mic's good. Camera's good. All right. Cool. Anyways. Then March 3rd, 4th, and 5th, you got the 3-game set with the Clemson Tigers. That Friday game at 6 o'clock at their place. Saturday's a TBA, by the way. Hopefully it's like a 4 o'clock first pitch. And then Sunday will be in Columbia, a 1:30 first pitch. Then you've got Tuesday against the Citadel, March 7th, Wednesday, USC Upstate. And that Wednesday game, March 8th, is at Fluor Field. So how about that? Wednesday against Upstate at Fluor Field. Then you got a 3-game set with Bethune-Cookman. So you're not even done with non-conference play at that point. Bethune-Cookman. Then you got PC on that Tuesday. Then you finally begin SEC play the 17th, 18th, and 19th of March, going to Georgia, right? Then you're at Charlotte, March 21st at Truist Field in Charlotte, North Carolina. 3-game set against Mizzou, at the Citadel in Charleston. 3-game set at Mississippi State, March 30th, 31st, and 1st of April. That'll be a Thursday through Saturday, which I will plan on going to Starkville. That'll be a blast. I'm definitely planning on going to the Dude. Then you've got UNC, Tuesday, April the 4th at Truist Field in Charlotte again. Then you got a 3-game set against LSU at home, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a Thursday through Saturday series in Columbia, April 6th through 8th. USC Upstate at home. You're at Vandy for 3. I tell you what sucks about this. That's Friday. That's April the 14th, 15th, and 16th. I'm pretty sure the spring game is going to be on that same weekend. I highly doubt the spring game will be, especially with the baseball schedule. There's no way they're going to put that. But granted, they did last year, right? We had the home game against Ole Miss, and then we had the home game against Ole Miss, and then they had the spring game later that day. So they could do it, but they're probably going to do the spring game April the 15th. But I'd love to go to Nashville. I truly would love. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Charleston Southern Tuesday game. Florida for 3. We got a lot of Thursday through Saturday series. A lot of Thursday through Saturday. April 20th, 21st, 22nd. Then you've got Carolina Auburn. Auburn comes to Columbia for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then at Winthrop and Rock Hill. I'm sure John Edward will be happy to go to that one. Then at Kentucky for 3. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tuesday against North Florida. At Arkansas, May 12th, 13th, 14th. I will plan on going to that one as well. That's a Friday through Sunday. Charlotte at home, and then the final series of the season against the Tennessee Volunteers. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, May the 18th through 20th at Founders Park. So it's going to be a fun baseball season. I know that I just went through the entire schedule, but going to be a good time. It'll be a very good time. Nathan Tootin says, we'll host if you come to Nashville. No, I said Nashville. Yes, South Carolina Vandy. South Carolina Vanderbilt will be in Nashville for their series. So let's see. Yeah, so looking forward to baseball, man. Going to be a lot of fun. Of course, a lot of big time storylines. NFL announces Bills and Bengals will not be resumed this week. No changes to the Week 18 schedule. Wild, man. Yeah, I mean, I would expect they will not play football until, everything is resolved. You know what I mean? Because obviously the health of the player is the number one priority. But, yeah, I would not expect them to play that game until that's resolved. Harbaugh about their opening. How about that? Yeah, the Bills updating. Damar Hamlin is still in intensive care at the Cincinnati Medical Center. Just scary stuff. By the way, of course, if you tune into the Under Armour All-American game, guys, Nick Harbor playing in that game. So, yeah, it'd be fun to watch him. When is, hold on, let's see. 2023 Easter. When is Easter? Sunday, April the 9th. Okay. Brendan, would prefer it be on that weekend because, again, I'd love to go to Nashville to watch the Gamecocks. I've never been to Nashville. I'd love to watch South Carolina Vandy. Would absolutely love that. Yeah, cornhole national champions. Love that. Love to see it. We are a cornhole school. Coach Ford, I did see Grayson McCall returning to Coastal. I think that's a smart move on his part. I really do. I think that's a smart move. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was weird he was leaving to begin with. I really did. I thought it was weird he was leaving. Like, you're the king of Coastal Carolina. Why not go back? Why not go back, right? I mean, I don't know. Hunter Kelly, didn't we get another tight end from Arkansas? We got Trey Knox, and then who else, my guy? I don't know of another one. Nathan says, know anything about Rattler? I got here late. Nope, nothing that you don't know, probably. I mean, we're just waiting on the decision. Nope, I don't think any of us are going to know what he's going to do. I mean, I will say this. Antoine Wells' Instagram story yesterday of the NFL podium, basically, I don't think it's a promising sign by any means. I don't. Unfortunately, I do not think it's promising. I think that I think they're probably going. That's my guess. That's my guess. And then, of course, what Brad Crawford said yesterday about Spencer Rattler and you know, where he's projected to get picked and all that. I'd be surprised if they're back at this point. I'd be surprised they're back. But yeah, we'll see. He's got 13 days. He and Juice both. I don't think we'll be waiting that long though, Lynn. I think they will. I think they'll get that figured out. So, Coach Ford, Marshawn Lloyd has signed nowhere, my guy. Marshawn Lloyd is unsigned, free agent. He's a free agent out there. So, yep, it's unfortunate for Lloyd, man. I don't know. Maybe this is all going to how he planned it, but I highly doubt it. Tough. It's a sad situation. It is what it is, and I don't know, man. I mean, I think a lot of Gamecock. I know there's a lot of Gamecock fans that would just gladly take him back, but I don't know. I don't think there's a path for that. I don't think that that's going to be happening, and I don't know. I don't know where Marshawn Lloyd's going to go. It's a shame for him to think what he gave up. Yeah, it's a shame to think what he gave up. You know, what he could have been this year for us, and you know, instead he chased NIL and chased the portal. And that's fine. I mean, I happy for him, but I just hope it works out for him. That's it. I hope it works out for him. So Craig Phillips says top 5 baseball movies. I don't know that I'll give you a top 5, but Bull Durham is my all-time favorite. I love Bull Durham. I love that movie. Love that movie. The Sandlot obviously is up there, one of the best. Yeah. So the Major League series is incredible. I mean, Major League's a great movie. It's a classic, right? Classic movie. Bull Durham for me though is the favorite. I'm a Bull Durham guy. Love that movie. It's a great mix of baseball, romance, drama, right? It's a great movie. It's a great movie. So Field of Dreams is a classic too, of course. So, you know, I've never seen 42 DGD. I've just never stopped and sat down and watched it. I need to. The Natural, that's a cool one. No doubt. The Natural's a good movie. Yeah. But I'm a Bull Durham guy through and through, man. I think that movie does the best job of depicting like what being in a baseball locker room is like. I think that movie does the best job. I think so. So I tell you what, I watched a movie about Babe Ruth. Like it was like Babe. I don't know which, but that was a great movie too. That was a fantastic movie about his life and everything. Yeah, that was a great movie. So, yes, The Babe with John Goodman. That's exactly, yes. And I love that movie because Babe Ruth's my all-time favorite player. So, that was a cool movie, like seeing his life and everything. Guys, we're going to jump into one final break. On the other side, hey, we can keep talking baseball movies. We can talk Gamecocks, whatever you like. 843-790-3377. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side of the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls as well. 843-790-3377. Nathan Tootin brought up Moneyball. Yeah, I loved Moneyball. Moneyball was a good movie also. I will say this, again, back to the Gamecock side of things, the basketball side of things. Very excited for the game. Very excited for the game tonight. I'm more so, I think, intrigued than anything, right? Because we all understand that this is a battle of the cellar dwellers. Like the battle of mid, this is it. This is the most mid of all. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, I mean, the Gamecocks are probably going to win a handful of SEC games, right? But if you're going to overachieve in any form or fashion, you got to win this game. Like, you got to win this game against Vandy. Vandy, by all accounts, is the worst team in the conference. It's either you or them. It's you or them. So I know it's on the road, and Memorial Gymnasium's already a really weird place to play, and we've got our issues, of course, but South Carolina needs a big win in a very, very bad way for sure. So we'll see what we got. Going to need a big performance from Gigi Jackson. Going to need Hayden Brown to help him out. I don't know, man. Yep. I don't know. We will see what we got. Anyways, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377 here on this Tuesday, January the 3rd, 2023. Again, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you all so much for the continued love and support. Truly do appreciate it. In case you missed it, guys, Jovan Gwynn officially announcing that he will be entering the NFL draft. Not really surprising, but let's see. A League of Their Own. That's a good movie, yeah. It's a really good movie. I'll tell you what, it's a great day in the upstate, too, to sit down and watch a movie and chill. By the way, how many of y'all are back at work today, by the way? Right? I didn't realize yesterday, of course. Yesterday was observed as a holiday, so everybody's back in the office and everything today. Hope you guys, again, enjoyed your holiday, your Christmas holiday, New Year, all that good stuff. Again, I know for most folks today kind of begins getting back after it, if you will. And yeah, Kemper, Happy New Year, my friend. Happy New Year to you. Beamer Ball to the moon, TSUS to the moon, Greenville Gamecocks to the moon, my man. Greenville Gamecocks to the moon. Yes, yes. Absolutely, my friend. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, the love and support, my guy. Appreciate you greatly. Mother Clucker says the best baseball movie, The Sandlot. I mean, it's classic. It's a classic for sure. Fantastic movie. Without a doubt, a fantastic movie. No question. No question. So what was cool is I've played out at a Sandlot off Bettis Academy Road. If you know where that is, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Yeah, off Bettis Academy Road. It's out in like Edgefield or something. So, yeah, just outside North Augusta. Yeah, Coach 4, Major League's a fantastic movie. Really is. Yeah, really is. So. Again, 7 o'clock tip-off tonight. SEC Network is where you can catch the game. Travis Allen, dogs or frogs for the win? Well, I mean, Georgia's going to win. I'd be – I mean, what a story it'd be if Duggan led TCU to a national title, but I think Georgia's got it, man. I mean, dude, it's crazy to think we got a national championship game where Georgia's a 2-touchdown favorite. Really? Just wild, man. Can we answer the question though? Why is the national title on a Monday night? Why? Why is that the case? Like, that is the most ridiculous, absurd. It's absurd. It's absurd. Like, who schedules this? Let's see. Yeah, Georgia sits. Dude, Georgia's now a 14.5-point favorite. So Brendan M's pressed because I'm sleeping on TCU. Everybody is sleeping on TCU. Nobody's giving them a chance. Bro, TCU is plus 530 on the money line. Over-under set at 60.5. So we'll see. I mean, I don't think picking the dogs is a very bold pick. I don't think it's a very bold take at all. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine going into a national championship. Number one, the Gamecocks just being there. But can you imagine going into it and you being a 2-touchdown favorite in the national title? Like, what a ridiculous thing. Travis Allen, I'm not 110% sure about Tulane's coaching staff. I have no idea. No idea, honestly. And maybe I should know, but I don't. I have no idea, my friend. No clue. Anyways, guys, like I said, looking forward to tonight's game, taking it all in. Gamecocks are a 9.5-point underdog. I've got 74-68. South Carolina falling to Vandy. So I do have the Gamecocks covering, but I have got a Vanderbilt victory in Nashville. Got a Vandy victory in Nashville. So Panic Ritter, this offseason scares me. Reminds me of 2020 when we had started 5 different quarterbacks. Panic Ritter, if you weren't panicking, you wouldn't be Panic Ritter. So I thank you for staying on brand as always, Panic Ritter. I mean, Will Muschamp was our coach, Panic Ritter. So nothing about this offseason reminds me of 2020. Nothing. What a wild year 2020 was, right? Like, what a crazy time. What a crazy time. I just think back to 2020. It's like we were just cooped up in our houses for months. Just for months, dude. I played more Call of Duty than I probably should have. Like, dude, we were playing Call of Duty on like a nightly basis. Truly. So, Jeff Gullidge, TCU's blue chip ratio. I'd have to look. It's not nearly as high as Georgia's, and I think it goes against the grain, Jeff. If they were to win the national title, I think it would go against the grain in regards to you need to be over 50%. So, maybe they're showing it's possible. But, yeah, unfortunately, man, I think Georgia's going to expose TCU, bro. I think Georgia's going to wax them. I do. I think Georgia's the best team in college football, and they're going to – Georgia's just the most complete team, bro. What is their weakness? Like, what is Georgia's weakness? You know? Do you guys, let me ask you this. How many of y'all recall during the shutdown, if you will, the lockdown, whatever it was, the pandemic, right? We got basketball taken away, end of season. Baseball completely taken away. How many of y'all recall us doing the NBA 2K and MLB The Show content? How many of y'all recall? How many of y'all were tuned in for that? I remember we had like 6 or 7 people that would tune in live. 6 or 7. Nothing even crazy. Like it was, but I was just like, you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm not going to sit here and do nothing. That's for sure. And I've actually had people come at me and say, Chris, I found you during the pandemic. I found you during COVID because of that content, because there was nothing going on. So. Let's see. Kaki Twan says Georgia's secondary is not so good. Okay. You taking TCU, Kaki Twan? You going that far, my guy? Anyways, guys, let's see. Hockey Twan taking TCU. Bold. I love it. Live bold, he says. Live bold, he says. I love that. Live bold. How about that? Guys, again, appreciate you all tuning in. In case you missed it, podcast now being released Monday, Thursday versus the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. So just wanted to make you all aware. Of course, TDC continues to roll on Monday through Friday, noon to 2. And that will be available if you miss anything, available in podcast form every day at 3 o'clock after the show. You can also go back and watch on YouTube, whatever you like, whatever you prefer. You can do that. So, really, really good stuff. The content continues to roll on as we sit here and, I'm excited. I'm excited, man, to transition from football into the basketball and baseball stuff. And, of course, football continues to roll on. We wait on the decisions from guys like Spencer Rattler, Juice Wells, many others. I'm sure the transfer portal is going to keep popping positively and negatively for South Carolina. Recruiting continues to roll on. Of course, the Under Armour All-American game is today at 5 o'clock. I'm looking forward to tuning in that and getting a glimpse of some, I think, future stars and definitely future contributors for the Gamecocks, especially in the line of scrimmage. So be exciting to watch those guys. And, of course, tip-off tonight at 7 o'clock. Gamecocks 9.5-point underdog. I'm locked in 74-68. Vandy getting the dub. But hopefully the homie Lamont can prove me wrong. We'll be watching it, guys, of course, like I mentioned, in the Big Cock Club Hangout, the Big Cock Club Discord. If you want to join that, get access, patreon.com/Big Cock Club. Again, we'll all be tuned in there, watching the game, chatting, conversating, shooting the shit, having a good time. And we'll talk about that game on the podcast Thursday while also breaking down and previewing the upcoming game this weekend, which I'm not even sure. Who do the Gamecocks? Don't tell me. I'll go look it up. The Gamecocks play this weekend. Let's see. Who do we have this weekend? Oh, God. The Gamecocks take on the 8th-ranked Tennessee Volunteers at the CLA. 3:30 tip-off. So, dude, SEC play after Vandy gets real very quickly. You got Vandy, then against Tennessee, at Kentucky, A&M, Ole Miss, Auburn, at Florida, at Georgia. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to learn about this team real quick. Guys, again, thank you all so much. We've hit 2 o'clock. Appreciate you all tuning in. Stay tuned to all the content. Y'all have a great talk to you all